ಪಾಠವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದೆವು ನಾವು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಟ ಪಾಠವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ಕತ್ತಲಿಟ್ಟವಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣು ಬಾಯಿ, ಬತ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತಲಿದೆ ಕೈ ಕಾಲು ಜುಮ್ಮ. ಕತ್ತಲಿಟ್ಟವಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣು ಬಾಯಿ, ಬತ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತಲಿದೆ ಕೈ ಕಾಲು ಜುಮ್ಮ. ಹೊತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿಸಬೇಡಮ್ಮ, ಒಂದು ತುತ್ತಾದರೂ ಇತ್ತು ಸಲಹು ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ. ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದೆವು ನಾವು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಟ ಪಾಠವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ರಾಶಿಯ ತಂದು ಸುರಿಯೇ ಕೋಟಿ ಕನ್ನಿಕೆಯರ ತಂದು ಧಾರೆಯ ನೆರೆಯೇ. ಹೊನ್ನು ರಾಶಿಯ ತಂದು ಸುರಿಯೇ ಕೋಟಿ ಕನ್ನಿಕೆಯರ ತಂದು ಧಾರೆಯ ನೆರೆಯೇ. ಅನ್ನದಾನಕ್ಕಿನ್ನು ಸರಿಯೇ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ದೊರೆಯೇ. ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದೆವು ನಾವು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಟ ಪಾಠವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದೆವು ನಾವು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಟ ಪಾಠವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Hari Om and humble prostrations to all. We were seeing the vibhutis of the Lord. We have completed verse number 35. Now we enter into verse number 36. Let us chant. Dyutam chalayatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattvam sattvavatamaham. Dyutam chalayatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattvam sattvavatamaham. Yes. Dyutam chalayatam asmi. Chalayatam. Among all the deceptive practices, I am Dyutam, gambling. Among all those activities which can cheat us, Bhagavan says, I am gambling. Among all those activities which can pull us down, which can create an addiction and destroy us, and thus cheat us, devolve us, degrade us, among all the activities, I am gambling. So what happens in gambling? The person, even when he loses, he thinks that in the next game I am going to win. And so on one side he is losing, on the other side he is very much optimistic that he will win the next game, and he keeps on playing the game and he keeps on losing, and finally he loses everything. It's a very addictive game. The best example is Mahabharata, where Yudhishthira himself gets into this trap. He loses his brothers, his wives. His everything. Just imagine, Yudhishthira is considered to be an embodiment of dharma. That's why his name is Dharmaraj. He is an amsha of Dharmaraj, an embodiment of righteousness, of goodness, of truth, of virtuous living. Even such a person has done this great mistake. That game, its nature is such that a person who gets addicted to it, he degrades himself completely. So he keeps his brothers at stake, and when he loses all his brothers, then he keeps his wife Draupadi at stake. Just imagine. And loses everything. In spite of losing everything, because of Dhritarashtra's grace, he gets it back. Again he comes back, again he plays, and again he loses everything. That's how they were sent to exile in the forest. This is the nature of the game. Even the wise people are blinded by this game. So, chalayatam, among cheaters. Also, this gambling is such a game, even the winners ultimately end up losers. Even those people who win and make money, ultimately they end up as losers only, because in this world there is a law. What is that law? The wealth earned through deceptive means, trickery, wealth earned through unlawful, cheap, illegal means. So, any wealth which is earned without putting forth effort in the righteous way, contributing towards the welfare and well-being of all, any wealth which is earned this way will not bless us. It's a law. How we are earning the wealth, that determines what that wealth will do to us. It's a law. So, if the wealth is earned through illegal and immoral ways, that wealth can only destroy us. It can never bring any kind of prosperity to us. So, that's why we see the Kauravas who got everything through gambling. What happened to Kauravas? The entire Kauravas were destroyed because of that wealth. War killed all of them. So, this is what happens when we earn wealth through such immoral ways. Such wealth destroys the individual, destroys the family, and therefore destroys the whole nation. In very many countries, gambling has been given a legal status. In United States, there are around 1,500 casinos where this gambling is played. And there are very many countries like that where gambling is illegal. The rulers, they are unintelligent ones. They have no idea about what the scriptures say. All this wealth that is gained through illegal, immoral means, whether it is drinks or drugs or prostitution or gambling, this wealth is never going to bless the society. It will only completely destroy the society by destroying the individual. When the individual is destroyed, families are destroyed. And when families are destroyed, country can never prosper. So this we must understand. Dyutam chalayatam asmi. Then Tejas tejasvinamaham. Among the Tejasvis, I am the Tejas. So what is this Tejas? That spiritual strength or the spiritual glow is what is called Tejas. Compared to a hungry person who has not had his food for so many days, a person who is well fed, he has a special glow on his face, isn't it? A glow of eating well. That glow you can see on the face. There are so many different kinds of glows. So one is the glow on the face because we have eaten good food. Now, a person who exercises regularly, there is a good blood circulation all over the body. So such a healthy person has a healthy glow on the face. That's another glow. The glow of good health. So glow of good food. This is one glow. Another glow is glow of good health. Again, when a person is very happy, in a cheerful mood, there is another glow on his face. So this is another glow of happiness. There is another glow seen on the face. Now this glow which we are talking here, Tejas, is called a spiritual glow. What is this spiritual glow? When a person lives a life of righteousness, goodness. When a person lives a life of self-discipline, cultivating all noble virtues of life, filled with viveka, vairagya, bhakti, jnana, filled with devotion for God, such a person who walks this path shown by the scriptures, the path of righteousness, of remembrance of God, such a person will have a special glow on his face, and this glow is what is called as TEJAS. That spiritual glow, the glow seen on the face, because the mind is filled with contentment, cheerfulness, devotion. So that state of mind is reflected on the face. In fact, it is reflected upon his entire being. His entire personality reflects that kind of spiritual living. That spiritual strength is exhibited in his personality. So that spiritual glow is what is called as TEJAS. Sometimes it is also called as spiritual aura around person. Our thinking and the facial expressions, they are deeply related. So among Tejasvis, among all those people who have this spiritual strength, spiritual glow, I am that Tejas in them. Because why did they get this Tejas? They got this Tejas by meditating upon the Lord. To know what Tejas is, you must see the faces of the people who are, caught by the police because they did some, illegal, immoral activities, selling drugs and ganja, etc., or stealing or robbery, or they have done some crimes and they are caught by the police. Such people's faces we see in the newspaper. See how dull and dark those faces are. When I do something immoral, illegal, the face reflects it. There is some kind of deep negativity in those faces. So to contrast these stages, we have to see such faces. So a person, on the other hand, who lives a noble life, such a person has got that spiritual glow, a spiritual brilliance, and that is what is called as Tejas. So it comes by meditation upon the Lord. So Bhagavan says that Tejas in those Tejasvis, that Tejas is me. Tejas, Tejasvinam aham. Jayosmi, I am the victory among the victorious. Jaitrunam Jayosmi. Among the victorious, I am the victory, because I am the one who gives victory to them. Because I know who deserves victory. So it is, as it is beautifully said, we get what we deserve and not what we desire, and the Lord knows what we deserve. So Bhagavan says, among the victorious, I am the victory. I am the one who gives them victory. Then Vyavasayosmi. Vyavasaya means hard work. Vyavasaya means perseverance. Vyavasaya means determination. So Vyavasainam Vyavasayosmi. Among those people whom you see working hard with determination, with perseverance, that enthusiasm, that inspiration to work hard, to persevere, that inspiration is me, that energy, that enthusiasm, it is me. It is very interesting to know that we can't create inspiration by ourselves. It has to come. When inspiration comes, working is very easy. But when the inspiration is not there, it becomes very difficult. Arjuna lost all inspiration to work, to fight the war, isn't it? In the beginning, it was Bhagavan who inspired him. So this inspiration, what is the source? It is from Bhagavan only. But how to gain that inspiration from Bhagavan? See the next term, Sattvam Sattvatam Aham. Among the Sattvic people, I am that Sattvic state of mind. Sattvam Sattvatam. Sattvatam means Sattvic people. That state of Sattvic mind, it comes from me. And this is also true. So a Sattvic mind is a peaceful mind, a cheerful mind, a quiet mind, a mind which is filled with devotion, etc., filled with virtues. So how to get such a mind? When we meditate upon the Lord, we gain such a mind. And in such a mind, inspiration comes. With inspiration, hard work becomes very easy. Perseverance becomes very easy. And with hard work, victory becomes natural. So see, they are all connected. Jayosmi, Vyavasayosmi, Sattvam Sattvatam. Meditate upon the Lord, quieten the mind. In such a quiet mind, in such a mind which is tuned to the Lord, inspiration becomes natural. And once you are inspired to perform action in your chosen goal, chosen path, to fulfill your responsibilities, you naturally put forth effort, and hard work has to result in victory. So this is the way we must live our life. Continuing verse number 37. Vrishninam vasudevosmi Pandavanam dhananjayah Muninamapyaham vyasah Kavinamushana kavihi. Vrishninam vasudevosmi Pandavanam dhananjayah Muninamapyaham vyasah Kavinamushana kavihi. Vrishninam vasudevosmi. Among Vrishnis, in the Yadava Kula, in the Yaduvamsha, among all the Yadavas, I am Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. So it is but natural, because Bhagavan is none other than the avatar of the Lord. So who is Vasudeva? Avatar of the Lord. So naturally he should be the best among all the Yadavas. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjayah. Among the Pancha Pandavas, who am I? Bhagavan says, I am Dhananjaya, I am Arjuna. Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, I am you among Pandavas. So what is the greatness of Arjuna? He was an ideal son, an ideal brother, ideal husband, ideal disciple, ideal devotee, ideal grandson. A person of a great noble character. He was an obedient son to Kunti. So this story we all know. When he won the hand of Draupadi, and when they all returned, Kunti Mata did not even see. They said, Amma, see what we have brought for you. She said, you just share among yourself whatever you have brought. So thus, Draupadi became the wives of all the brothers. He did not object. Now, this is an instance we see the obedience of Arjuna. In the same way, when Yudhishthira, he staked Arjuna during gambling, Arjuna did not protest or oppose. He just obeyed his brother. So here we see an obedient brother. Of course, he was a darling grandson of Bhishma. Bhishma loved him very much. He was a loving disciple of Dronacharya. He was a loving devotee of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Bhagavan himself says, Bhaktosmi, you are my devotee. The very fact that Arjuna chose Bhagavan, even when Bhagavan said that I will not take any weapon in the war, even then Arjuna said, no problem Bhagavan, I want you alone, I don't want your army. Duryodhana chose Bhagavan's army, he did not choose Bhagavan, but Arjuna chose Bhagavan. So all these things show that Arjuna was a man of great virtues. And that's why Bhagavan chose to give this Gita knowledge to Arjuna. So Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam api aham Vyasaha. Among all Munis, the contemplative ones, I am Vyasa. Krishna Dvaipayana, Vedavyāsarushi. So what is the glory of Yasarushi? Whatever scriptures we have today, we must thank Vedavyāsarushi. All the Vedas were compiled by Vyasarushi. Mahabharata was composed by Vyasarushi. So therefore this Bhagavad Gita also was composed by Vyasarushi. Brahma Sutra was composed by Vyasarushi. So the Prasthanatrayis in Hinduism, the source of knowledge in Hinduism, what are the sources of knowledge? Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. These are called as Prasthanatrayis. The sources of knowledge in Hinduism, they all directly or indirectly they are connected to Vyasarushi only. Even the Puranas are written by Vyasarushi. The famous Bhagavata Puranam has come from Yasarushi only. So this Rishi was highly compassionate, highly knowledgeable. Yasarushi was none other than Amshavatar of Bhagavan. Yasarushi is an avatar of Bhagavan. In order to bring out this scriptural knowledge, he had taken this avatar. The knowledge of the scriptures have come from him, and his compassion was so much that it did not limit to his immediate disciples. He was thinking about the future generation going to be born in Kali Yuga, and keeping them in mind, he had written all these Puranas like Bhagavata Puranam, etc. So such a compassionate teacher, and that is why we have Guru Purnima celebrated as, Vyāsa Purnima celebrated as Guru Purnima. So in Guru Purnima, whom do we worship? It is Vyasarushi whom we worship. Because all the scriptural knowledge we have gained from him. Muninam api aham Vyasaha. Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Among Kavis, Kavi means Krantadarshi, the great visionaries. So among the great visionaries, great thinkers, I am Ushana Kavi. Ushana Kavi means Shukrāchārya here. So who is Shukrāchārya? He is the guru of the Asuras. So here Shukrāchārya is praised. See? Actually Shukrāchārya was not an Asura. He was a Brahmana, son of Bhrigu. But then out of compassion, he accepted Asuras as his disciples. That's the greatness of Shukrāchārya. Out of compassion for them, he became their guru. And what is the greatness of Shukrāchārya? He was a great tapasvi. He was the one who got Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya from Lord Shiva by doing tapas. What is Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya? The ability to revive a person who is dead. To bring a person back to life. That Vidya Shukrāchārya had. Not only that he was a great tapasvi, he was also a very large-hearted person. He gave this Vidya to the son of Brihaspati. Brihaspati is guru of Devatas. We all know Devatas and Asuras, they are always inimical to each other. So even after knowing that this boy, Kacha, is the son of Brihaspati, he gave this knowledge to Kacha. A large-hearted person. Shukrāchārya is also considered to be an adept in the science of ethics, they say. Now here Shukrāchārya is praised as Kavi, Krantadarshi, a visionary, a person who can think deep. It is always found in the Puranas, etc., that whenever Shukrāchārya takes lead in leading the Asuras, they always became victorious. And then Devatas had no choice but to approach Bhagavan, completely surrendering. Because when Asuras, when you will find always Devatas running, they run to whom? They don't run to Brihaspati. Interestingly, they run to Vishnu Bhagavan. I say, Bhagavan save us, protect us, Trahimam Prayam. Then finally, Bhagavan himself had to interfere in order to cause victory for the Devatas. So such was the glory of Shukrāchārya that Devatas had no other go other than approaching Bhagavan himself to protect them. So such was the move, such were the moves made by Shukrāchārya. Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Among all the Kavis, I am Shukrāchārya. Next one, verse number 38. Dando damayatāmasmi nītirasmi jigīṣatāṁ maunam caivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatāmaham. Dando damayatāmasmi nītirasmi jigīṣatāṁ maunam caivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatāmaham. Dando damayatam asmi. Damayatam. Among so many means of disciplining a person. Damayatam. Among so many means of disciplining, I am Danda. So what are the different means of disciplining? We all know. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. Sama means peaceful means. You ask a person to do something, then when that person asks why, then you give reasons, logic, why you must do this. So in a peaceful way, you persuade that person, inspire that person, make that person do that thing. That is called as Sama. Then there is Dana. Dana means by giving something. If you do this, then I will give you this, this, this. If you do this, then you will get this, this, this. So this way, tempting that person to do it by offering him rewards and recognition, etc. Now this is called as Dana. Sama, Dana. The third one is Bheda. What is Bheda? Bheda means blackmailing. One meaning is blackmailing. If you don't do this, then I will I will let out that secret, and then you will be humiliated in the society. So therefore, better you do this. This kind of blackmailing is called Bheda. And the fourth one is Danda. If you don't do it, then I will punish you. So that punishment, Bhagavan says, it is me. Among all the means of disciplining, I am punishment. Now what is the unique feature about this punishment? This language, the language of punishment, is something which we all understand. Even a tamasic person understands this language, punishment. Pain is something which is understood by everyone. Even animals understand this language. Pain. So that is why it is called as sometimes Cain Upanishad. We are not talking of an Upanishad here. It is not Cain Upanishad. It is Cain Upanishad. C-A-N-E Upanishad. What is Cain Upanishad? If you don't do it, then you will be hit by the cane. So this Upanishad everybody understands. And this is something, this danda is something, immediately that person becomes active, that person starts obeying you. So quickly your instructions are obeyed without any delay. In very many countries, they have made the laws so strict. A person who steals or robs, etc., their hands are chopped off. Rules are so strict. A person who tries to evade taxes, such a person is executed, he is killed, sometimes publicly. So when people see all these things, naturally people become law-abiding. In such countries, we don't have any problem because people are scared of punishment. So therefore, they follow all rules and regulations because the punishment is so strict. So, dando damayatam asmi, among all the disciplinary means I am danda, punishment. Then next one, Nīti rasmi jigishatam. Jigishatam. Those who desire to win, jigishata. So, those who want to be victorious, I am Nīti. Now, what is Nīti? Nīti can have so many meanings. Nīti means policy, Nīti means righteousness, Nīti means law, justice, truthfulness. So many meanings are there for Nīti. Diplomacy is also called Nīti, Kūtanīti. So, among for the what you call Jigishata, for those who desire victory, I am Nīti. Meaning what? Those who follow Nīti, they become victorious. So even arguments, etc., when people argue, so what is the best way of winning the argument? The best way of winning the argument is by arguing based on facts. Based on proven facts, when you argue, you win. Based on the laws of that particular field, when you argue, you win. When you argue based on the injunctions of the scriptures, you win. So based on the laws, based on facts. So these are all called Nīti. Now there is another meaning for this statement. Nīti rasmi jigishata means if you want to be victorious in any field, then follow the path of righteousness. Why? Because satyameva jayate. Final victory is always for truth. So therefore, if you are desirous of victory, then stick to the path of truth. Because very many people, they take shortcut methods, they take the path of untruth to win quickly. So Bhagavan is saying that path will not, in the final run, eventually it is always the truth which is going to win. Satyameva jayate na anrutam, scriptures say. And there is another one, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Those who protect dharma, they are protected by dharma. So if you want to win, it is better to follow the dharmic path. When Duryodhana approached Bhishma, Bhishma made it very clear, Duryodhana, you are never going to win this war. This was before the war. Bhishma said, yes, I may fight for you. It is true, I am invincible. I am in Ichhamarani. Nobody can conquer me. All these things are fine. You have Bhishma, Drona, all of them with you. You have 11 Akshauhinis with you. All that is fine. But still, I tell you, Duryodhana, Pandavas alone are going to win because Dharma is on their side. And wherever Dharma is, Bhagavan is. And wherever Bhagavan is, victory is guaranteed. This is the advice which Bhishma Pitama gives to Duryodhana. Even before the war itself, Bhishma makes it clear that you are not going to win. So therefore, if you want to be victorious, stick to the path of truth, stick to the path of dharma. Stick to the path of laws. Be a law-abiding person. Nītirasmi jigishatam. Maunam chaivasmi guhyanam. Among all the means to protect a secret, if you want to keep something secret, what you have to do? So, among all the means of protecting a secret, Bhagavan says, Maunam. I am Maunam. Maunam means silence. Silence. Maintain silence. Don't tell this to anyone. Keep it to yourself. There's a great temptation in us to share these secrets with our near and dear ones. So Bhagavan says, don't yield to this temptation. If you want to keep a secret, a secret. If you tell this secret to others, then it will become a public secret. It is no more a secret, everybody knows. Only in the book it is secret. So therefore, if you want to preserve a secret, remain silent. Maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatam aham. Among all those people who have knowledge, jnanavatam. Among the knowledgeable people, wise people, I am knowledge. Jnanam. So these people are worshipped for that knowledge, revered for that knowledge. That knowledge is me. Whether it is a spiritual knowledge or material knowledge, it comes from Bhagavan alone. We all must have heard of Srinivasa Rāmānujam, the great mathematician. It is said even today, hundreds of years have passed. Even today, mathematicians are breaking their head in order to understand some of the theorems which he has written. How did he get these theorems? So he himself has revealed that it is a particular goddess who used to reveal these great secrets of nature to him. So Rāmānujam used to do japa of a particular goddess, a particular Devi. So that Devi used to reveal all these theorems, mathematical theorems to him. So those theorems were so complicated that even today, people are doing research on those theorems. The point is, knowledge has to come from Bhagavan alone. Whether it is material or spiritual. In this very same chapter, Bhagavan had said, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi-yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Those people who worship me, who serve me, who are devoted to me, to them, I give them the spiritual knowledge, Bhagavan says. I light the lamp of knowledge in their heart and remove the darkness of ignorance in their heart, Bhagavan says. So, in the knowledgeable people, I am knowledge. Continuing verse number 39. Yacchapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham Arjuna tanna tadasti vina yatsyat maya bhutam characharam. Yacchapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham Arjuna na tadasti vina yatsyat maya bhutam characharam. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, in every being you can see my glory. You can see my glory in every being. Bhagavan, how is it possible? So Bhagavan says, Yat sarva bhutanam bijam, that which is the bijam, the cause of all beings. That which is the cause of all beings, tat api aham, that also I alone am. I am the cause of all beings. Bhagavan, how is it? Yat characharam asti, whatever sentient or insentient entities that exist in this world, yat chara acharam. Sentient, insentient, all those beings, things and beings in this world, whatever exists in this world, tat maya vina nasyat. Without me, they have no existence. Nothing can exist without me. I give existence to everything and every being. So that itself is my glory. So what is the glory of Bhagavan in every one of us? We exist because of Bhagavan. This existence itself is the glory of Bhagavan. So just like every ornament exists because of gold, without gold ornaments cannot exist. In the same way, the whole world exists because of Bhagavan. So the point is this: don't think that I am only great and glorious in some few selected things and beings. No, 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 no. My glory can be seen everywhere throughout the world, everywhere. I am in all. My glory is there in all. Now Bhagavan winds up the discussion. Verse number 40. Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tuddeshatah proktah vibhutirvistaro maya. Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tuddeshatah proktah vibhutirvistaro maya. Yes. Bhagavan says, O Parantapa, scorcher of the force, O Parantapa, Antah na asti, there is no end. Antah na asti, there is no end. Of what? Mama divyanam vibhutinam, of my divine glories. Mama divyanam vibhutinam antah na asti, there is no end to my divine glories. So how long will I keep on saying, this is my glory, that is my glory? There is no end. Whatever little I have said till now, Arjuna, eshaha vibhutehe vistaraha, this elaboration of my glories, tu uddeshatah maya proktah. Uddeshatah means what? It is just for illustration purpose that I have spoken some of my glories. Just for illustration, just for demonstration, just to give a taste of it, just to give a sample of it. Eshatu uddeshatah maya proktah. I have spoken about my glories only to give a taste of it to you. Otherwise, speaking about my glories, there is no end. I can go on and on and on. I've just given a sample to you. Just like, when you have to purchase some grapes or groundnuts, etc., what do? We take some sample, one or two, we eat and see the taste, whether it is sour or sweet. Grapes especially, you do that. You don't have to eat the whole thing. You have to just see the sample and then you know the quality of the whole. So in the same way, Bhagavan says, I have just given some samples so that you know what my glories are. In fact, Arjuna, na antah, there is no end to my glories. There's a beautiful verse in Shiva Mahimna Stotram which says, Asitagiri samam syat kajjalam sindhupatre Surataruvara shakha lekhani patramurvi Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam Tadapi tava gunanam Ishaparam nayati. It's a beautiful verse where it is said, if suppose there is a mountain of lamp black, Sitagiri, a mountain of lamp black, and you put it in the ocean and make an ink out of it. So the entire ocean has become ink by mixing lamp black, a mountain heap of lamp black, into that ocean. So now you have ocean full of ink, and now with that, Sura Taruvara Shakha Lekhani. Now you take a pen, and what is a pen? A branch of this tree. Which tree? Kalpavriksha is the tree, the wish fulfilling tree of the heavens. So if you take the branch and make a pen out of it, and then Patram Urvi, the entire earth is made the sheet, is made the paper to write the glory of Bhagavan. And who is writing it? Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam. Sharada, Sakshat Saraswati Mata is writing the glory of Bhagavan. How long? Sarvakalam, throughout her lifespan. Even if she writes it, Tadapi, even then, Tava Gunanam, He Isha Param Nayati, Bhagavan, O Lord, your glories can never be described. Even if the entire ocean is made the ink, the branch of the Kalpavriksha is made the pen, entire earth is made the paper, and Sakshat Saraswati Mata writes your glories, even then Bhagavan, nobody can describe your glories in full measure. This is what is said here. Nam tosti mama divyana vibhutinam parantapa. Interestingly, in Quran also there is such a statement. In Quran it is said, if the entire ocean is made ink and all the trees are made pen, and if you write it, even then glories of Allah cannot be described. Such a statement is there in Quran also. So the same thing is mentioned here also. So then Bhagavan, what is the way to recognize your glory? Is there some technique by which we can recognize your glory in everything, in and every being? So that technique is mentioned in the next verse, verse number 41. Yad yad vibhutimat sattvam Srimadurjitameva va tattadevavagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Yad yad vibhutimat sattvam Srimadurjitameva va tattadevavagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Yes, so Bhagavan says, yat yat sattvam, whatever object, thing or a being. So here sattvam means an existent thing or a being is called sattvam. Sattvam doesn't mean sattuguna here. Tvam means state. Sat means existence. So anything which has a state of existence is called sattvam. Anything or any being, anything which exists. So yat yat sattvam, whatever that entity is, vibhutimat, full of glory, Srimat, full of wonder, prosperity, virtues, talents, or anything. rich in something, that is called a Srimad. So any entity which is full of glory or full of Shri, prosperities, virtues, talents, etc., or Urjitam, full of power, full of energy, full of brilliance. In anything or any being, if you see all these things, then tat, in that thing, in that being, whatever glory, power, greatness, etc. you see, mama tejomsha sambhavam eva iti avagacha. Iti avagacha, may you recognize that that glory, that splendor, that greatness, that brilliance, it is mama teja amsha sambhavam eva. May you recognize that it is a speck of my glory, a speck of my greatness. Amsha it is. May you recognize that that particular glory is only my amsha of my tejas. Tejomsha sambhavam. So what has to be understood? That glory, that greatness, that power, whatever you see in anything or any being, it doesn't belong to that thing or being, it belongs to me. It's a very small part. So whatever greatness anything or being has attained, that greatness doesn't belong to that thing or being. It is only a small fraction of my greatness. So everyone in this world, they borrow greatness from me. All greatness belong to me alone. This is what Bhagavan says. Now this is a very practical tip, a very useful tip in this world. Because in this world we see so many people with varieties of talents and abilities and greatness and power, etc. So whenever you see a particular talent or greatness or glory in a person, understand that that talent or glory doesn't belong to that person, it belongs to Bhagavan alone. So whenever you see any special talent in a person, special glory or power in a person, what should we think? We should think that this particular glory belongs to Bhagavan, and that Bhagavan's glory is reflecting through this person, is manifesting through this person. So what is the benefit of thinking like this? The benefit is we will not be attached to that person, instead we will be attached to only God, whose glory is expressed through that person. So our attachment to God increases instead of our attachment to the person. People sometimes become jealous of somebody's glory. Why do we become jealous? We become jealous because we think that glory belongs to that person. Oh, that person is superior to me. This is the way we think. So we have to understand all the glories in this world belong to Bhagavan. So when our thinking is trained this way, corrected this way, then there won't be any jealousy, there won't be any kind of attachment. In fact, there won't be any samsara at all. We get attached to things and become beings and become a samsari. Why do we become a samsari? We become a samsari because we think that the glory belongs to samsara. So therefore we get attached to samsara and then we become a samsari. This is a mistake we make. We forget the Lord to whom all glories belong. In the same way, when we look at ourselves also, whatever talents we have, abilities we have, we must recognize that these talents and abilities don't belong to us, it belongs to Bhagavan alone. All these talents, they are only expressing through us, it doesn't belong to us. So then what happens? We remain humble, we remain grateful. So this is a very, very important verse, very, very practical verse. So we become humble and grateful, seeing our own talents, and we become free from jealousies and attachment when we see the talents in others. Devotion in God grows when we see the glory of the Lord in and through the glory in the world. A very good practical way of being free from all kinds of negativities of the mind. Right. Now, Bhagavan winds up the entire teaching. Verse number 42. Athava bahunetena kim nyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyahamidam kritsnam ekamshena sthito jagat. Athava bahunetena kim jnatena tavarjuna vishtabhyahamidam kritsnam ekamshena sthito jagat. Bhagavan says, Athava, Arjuna, or etena bahuna jnatena, by knowing all these, tava kim, what are you going to get? What is the use of all this? How is it going to help you? Arjuna, by listening to all these individual glories, whatever I have said, what is the point? What is the use? Let me wind up the whole thing in short. Let me tell you the whole thing in brief. What is it? Idam kritsnam jagat, the whole world. Eka amshena vishtabhyaha, I pervade this whole world. I support this whole world. Eka amshena, by an insignificant fraction of my power of Maya. By an insignificant fraction of my power, I pervade this whole world, I support this whole world. Aham sthita, this way I stand. So Arjuna, what is the point of telling that, this being is glorious, that thing is glorious? No. In fact, the whole world, the world which is supporting all these things and being, the whole world is supported in me. And how do I support this world, pervade this world? By my small fraction of my power of Maya. So naturally, when the whole world is supported by me, then every glory of everything, every being in that world also naturally belongs to me. So therefore, instead of going on and on and on, talking of my bhutis, let me tell you this. The world has no existence apart from me. I support the whole world. So everything seen in the world is my glory only. Now this statement of Bhagavan becomes the seed for the next chapter. The next chapter is Vishwaroopadarsana Yoga. So here Bhagavan says that the whole world is existing in me. They have no dependent existence. So naturally, Arjuna now develops a desire. Bhagavan, can you show me that vision? That vision where I see you and you alone in the whole world. When I see the world, I must see you. I must see the world as your manifestation. Bhagavan, is it possible to have such a vision? So from this desire begins the next chapter. And thus Bhagavan gives a Vishwaroopadarsana. What is Vishwaroopadarsana? Vishwadarshanam as Ishvara Darshanam. You are seeing the world, but you are seeing God in the world. So this vision Bhagavan gives to Arjuna. But why did Bhagavan give this to Arjuna? Arjuna expressed this desire to see this. But why did Arjuna express this desire? He expressed it because of this statement from Bhagavan. The statement of verse number 42. So now that chapter we will see in the next class. So let us wind up. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vibhuti-yogo Nama Dashamodhyayah. Thus ends the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, named Vibhuti-yoga. This Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Upanishads, and it is in the form of samvada, dialogue between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna. So thus the 10th chapter, Vibhuti-yoga, the chapter of glories of the Lord. Vibhuti means glories. This chapter comes to an end. So in the next class, we will start with the 11th chapter. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.